So hey guys, I apologize for the delay, and this is mics and plugs and things that I have no control over. I don't know. So anyway, we want to talk about a lot of things today, a lot of topics. We're gonna start off. Do you want to start off with the questions, or do you want to start off with talking about some of the things that are going on in the country? All right, get the questions from last week.
Okay, let's see. Sammy, okay, let's get some quick shout outs real quick. We're going to give shout outs to Gilbert Goobies Castro, Frank Logan, J. Marie, Fat Irish 90, Sai Ali. They all gave you nice envelopes last week, and we didn't acknowledge them, so give them a quick shout out.
Yeah, that's great. I appreciate all you guys, all the names she just shouted out. Yeah.
Ethan Worley says, "Hello, Sammy. My mother and I love listening to you. Thank you for everything that you do for the people."
Thank you so much. And I enjoy doing it. It makes my day, for sure.
Randy Peters says, "What's up, Sammy? This is Randy from Phoenix. Just wanted to give you a shout out."
Hi, Randy.
Okay, we have Durcio Ferreira. "Sammy, I just had my godchild pass away from an accident on his Harley, and life just seems too short. Just wanted to say thank you and God bless."
Thank you so much, and I'm very, very sorry to hear that. My prayers are for him and for you. So,
Okay, Mikey Irish asks, "Did you know anything about the Gus Faraci hit on 18th Ave? Who ordered it?"
yeah, and that's a little bit of a long story. I do know him. He was a drug dealer. He came out of prison. He was a steroid nut, really well built, big guy. And he was doing drugs. What happened with him is that he was doing drugs in a car with a black guy who was an undercover agent. And the questions that the guy was asking him, he thought he might have been an informer. He shot the cop and killed him in the car. The cops went completely the agents, the FBI, everybody, DEA, went completely ballistic. They were running around looking for him. A couple of the guys in the Gravano family, they hid him down New York with somebody's daughter. They put him in a house. He wound up banging the guy's daughter. He was completely a piece of shit, completely out of control. And they ordered the hit on him. They caught him in Brooklyn. They set him up with some guys. And they whacked him in Brooklyn. Like I said, it's a long, complicated story. I got to know him. My mother-in-law and father-in-law had a little luncheonette in Staten Island. And my wife was working with their mother, helping her, and my sister-in-law was there. And he come in one day, and he was flirting with my wife. And my sister-in-law said, "You better not." And he said, "Why?" "She's married to Sammy the Bull." And he says, "I don't give a fuck who she's married to." And the message got back to me, and I really want to show him about not giving a fuck. It's one thing you can flirt with my wife, but not giving a fuck, that was another story. But I never caught up with him, and then this whole thing happened with the agents. The Mafia, went crazy over it. I remember agents came to my house, and they told me his name. They were looking for him. So I said, "Well, he's not my house." And they said, "No, Sammy, we want you to give John a message that we want to get this guy. We want to talk to him." I said, "No, listen, I'm not a messenger. Go tell him yourself if that's what you want. Unless you're asking me, we don't care what happens. Are you asking me to kill him?" No, Sammy, come on, we're not asking that. Just let John know. I'm not letting anybody know. If you want him, go look for him. And if you want to talk to John, go over his house and talk to him. I'm not running messages for you. I'm not a cop. So there's a long story with him. Someday I'll come out with the whole story. I don't even think I ever told this story. I might not have. I might have. I'm not sure. God.
Thanks, Sammy. Corey Rolling asks, I heard you saying you guys stole cars and sent them to the Middle East. Did the cars go through Canada first before heading overseas?
No, they didn't go to Canada. Me and Louis Melito sat down with Roy DeMeo. Roy DeMeo had that hookup. It was his connection. They were coming right out of New York. They were putting them on ships, 20, 30, 40 cars at a time, shipping them to Kuwait. They were taking them. There was like a Mercedes-Benz. Let's say back then the Mercedes-Benz was worth 50,000 or 60,000. They were giving it to the Kuwaitis for 20, 25,000. They were buying them like they were hotcakes. We tried to get into that with me and Louis Melito, but it didn't work out. We never did it. But it didn't come out of Canada. It came right from the United States.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. King Dre 28 says, Sammy, have you ever had any interactions with Lefty or Sonny Black?
No, I knew them. Lefty Guns was my daughter's best friend. She's Ramona. She's like a niece to me. She grew up in my house crawling around on the floor because I knew the father and mother. So I knew her all my life, and she's like my niece. She's not a blood niece, but she's a niece nonetheless, and that's her grandfather. So I knew him that way, and I knew of him, but I didn't have any, he was a little older than me. They were older than me, and I really didn't have anything to do with them.
Okay, David Pello asks, did you know Funzy Thierry and his girlfriend, Rita Berta?
I knew Funzy Tierra. Rita's got to be dead by now, so I could say this. Rita was, I knew her too. She was a blowjob in the neighborhood. I think I got 1 or 2 blowjobs off her. But I'm thank God that, what's her name, didn't find out. But yeah, I did know them. Everybody's moaning. I think I'm in trouble. Here it goes.
Okay, Nick's Coin says, did you ever have any run-ins with Whitey Bulger? I would like to have you on my channel sometime, Sammy. Are you a coin collector?
I had no relationship. I didn't know Whitey Bulger. I heard of him, but I didn't know him. I heard of him after he was gone on The Lamb a little bit more. I did time with Frankie Cadillac. He ratted Frankie Cadillac out. He was a boss down in Boston. He was ratting Italian guys out. A vicious piece of shit. And no, I'm not a coin collector.
Okay. Last one, Johnny Roast Beef. If you hadn't fought Aldo and his crew outside the bus stop club, being realistic, what would you have done when you came back for him, and who with?
I would have came back with my crew, and he said he claimed the place. So when I would have came back with my crew, I would have said, hi, what's up, buddy? I'm claiming my place back. Get the fuck out. And if he didn't make that move real fucking quick, he would have been part of the furniture.
Okay, that's all I have from last week, guys. Make sure to drop what you guys want to ask in the chats. Over to you, Anna.
Thank you. Thanks, guys, for all your patience and helping us in the chat get this audio tech thing figured out.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to Monday.
Yeah, welcome to Monday. Listen, we had a great week, so I don't want to blame the week. We had a busy week going with all kinds of things, the weekend as well, and I was all excited to come in here. Maybe it was my fault because I was pushing everybody to let's get started. And I guess, one plug in here, there's so many fucking plugs, so it might have been my fault. I screwed it up a little bit. I'll take it out on the tech guy. If we play chess later, I'll break his ass for just not plugging it in the right way.
Okay, Sammy, Dan Collins in the super chat with his envelope for you. No comment, no question, just his weekly kick up to the boss.
Thank you, brother.
So, Sammy, there was a Fox News segment that you did with Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon? Fela, thank you. I made him Italian.
Yeah, I know.
And we saw the analytics on that. We love analytics, don't we, Sammy?
Oh, we sure do.
So
we did that for Fox News. So I went down to this house they sent me to, and I sat on the side. It was a little bit of a weird situation. When we were walking in, they took pictures of me. It's on Instagram. And as we were walking in, I said, if this wasn't a show for Fox, I would have never walked into this house. This is exactly what happened to Jimmy Hoffa. And then I was going to turn around to Amina and say, listen, if ever anything happens in this house, drop the gun and take the cannolis. So, so we did that. But this Jimmy Fiala, I think, Fiala, whatever the fuck his name is. He was a good guy. I think the most hits he ever got was with Fox was 580 something hits. We got 1,200,000 hits. Fox must be blown away. Hey guys at Fox, bye. Give me my own fucking show. Look at how many views we got. So I doubt, because I would be a horrible anchor. Imagine the guy says, talk to this guy. No, fuck you. I'm not talking to him.
Fuck all the way off.
Yeah. I wouldn't be good, I think.
And Sammy, those million views were in less than 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours, 1,200,000 hits with Fox News. I'm sure Fox News must be super happy with me and that interview. I was too. It was a good interview. The guy Jimmy's a great guy. I understand that he was a cab driver and he became a comedian and he got a station on Fox News. That's pretty heavyweight shit. So lots of luck to him. I appreciated the interview. I didn't like exactly where we went, but they didn't have no fucking cookies, no food, no fucking water. They didn't have nothing, bro.
Starving my man, Fox
Yeah.
News.
So you guys at Fox, bro, you got a few dollars. You got to set these things up. Some dessert and some cookies and shit. I do that and I ain't got 3 cents.
I know that's right.
All right.
That's right. Sammy, Tony Kraus in the chat with his weekly envelope. No comment, no question, just his envelope and kick up to the boss.
Thank
my
you,
man.
Tony.
We got a couple comments or questions. Have you ever been to Italy, Sammy?
No. I really, really wanted to go in the worst way. Went on vacation with my wife and kids a bunch of times. But I would have loved to go to Italy. Then I got arrested. Then I got arrested. I was on parole. And I can't get out. I can't get out anymore. I'm on lifetime parole. So I can't go there. I would love to go there. My father, my mother came from there, little fishing town my father came from. I would really love to go, but I guess I'll never make it.
I remember you telling us that your father was a fisher. Your father was a fisherman.
Yeah, in Italy he was a fisherman. He jumped ship. He came to the United States. They landed in Canada. He jumped ship, and he snuck into the United States. He was an illegal alien. The family put him together. He met my mother. They hooked up. They got married. And that's what happened.
Here you are.
Yeah, here I am.
So Big Tuna in the super chat. Sammy, did you ever meet Billy Batts or the Vario crew?
No, I really never met him. If I'm not mistaken, Billy Batts was not a member of the Paul Vario crew with the Lucchese's. Isn't he the guy who got killed?
The Shinebox guy?
The Shinebox guy. Yeah. He was with that. He was with the Gambino family, and I saw it in the movie. I heard of the situation that happened back then, but I was real young, and I had no part in it. That same guy killed a few people. Tommy, what the hell was his name? Tommy DeSimone. He killed somebody who was around John Gotti. There were stories that John Gotti killed him. That's not true. They did it themselves. Paul Vario, the Lucchese people, they killed him. He was out of control.
Thank you, Sammy. Mad Cool in the super chat. A little confused, Mad Cool, but I'm going to ask it. Play 1 B4 in your next game. Play 1 before in your next game. Oh, it's a chess move.
Oh. That's how you want me to start?
Mad Cool, is that how you want him to start? He's laughing. There's a little laughy emoji next to it.
Oh, all right.
Way over my head.
All right, he's teasing me.
He's breaking balls.
He's breaking balls.
Bowery Boys in the super chat with their envelope, Sam.
Thank you,
Kick
Bowery Boys.
Got a lot of comments in here. Janet Kolb, I love the interview on Fox, Sammy. Good stuff.
Thank you.
When is the Francisco, hey, when is the interview with Anthony Reggiano Jr. coming on YouTube?
I'm working on it right now as we speak. A guy's bringing it down. We're looking at the first cut. Now, looking at it at the first cut, we look at it. If I think it's smooth, if I think it's good, not only me, my crew, my team, and if we want to change or something there or whatever, you know, but it's getting real close. Give me a better idea of a couple of weeks or two.
Less. It'll be done by this week.
I'll be done by this week, I'm being told. So if it's done by this week, maybe it'll be out by the end of the week or the beginning of next week. I'm not sure, but we're real close. And that, by the way, that was a great interview. I connected with Anthony so well, it was crazy. You know why? I know a certain part of a crime that existed and happened. Now, he was with his same family, but another crew. Now, he's telling me how they were thinking, and it blended so perfectly. I knew my part, he knew his part, so when we were talking, you know, he was less confused, and so was I. Matter of fact, that happened to me 1,000 times. I was just talking with James Carroll, and we're going to do a remake of Our Thing. They're not calling it a remake, a reload, because so much information has been found. And then when, like, talking with Anthony, when he talks about his end, it fills the picture for me. So when I'm going to tell the story, I'm going to be telling it with a full story. There was things I found out about Tato Arello, who was my guy, that really stunned me. Now, I'm not mad he didn't tell me about these things, because that's Cosa Nostra. We don't tell each other about murders when we had nothing to do with it. So I'm not mad at him, but I'm more knowledgeable about him and things he's done, things about the Kennedy assassination, so many different things. It's incredible. So when we do this reload, I think you guys, anybody who saw ourthing.com, loved it. And
What, Gerard? Oh, Gerard's in the house, guys. Say hi, Gerard.
Hey guys, aren't you collecting like documents, court papers, testimonies?
yes, all facts, documents.
So
things
everyone
that-
out there that's lying about certain things is just they can't get away from it.
Yeah. But I don't want to get into who's lying about what. But yes, when we have these documents and papers and stuff like that, I want to document, because I got some hyenas. One of the hyenas following me around. That's not true. This ain't true. Badmouth me a little bit. I'm sure some of you people saw it. And we're going to get that true. I'm going to get to all of that shit a little later. They just want to be famous, you know, and they want my viewers. They want my subscribers. Well, someday, my friends, I'm going to give you the story that you want. I'm going to make you fucking famous.
With all the receipts.
With
I think
all
it's
the receipts and facts and stuff. And I'm going to put out your story. And you know what I found out a lot with this YouTube, that with people who don't have a story, they don't have a life, they're nobodies. So they want to invent stories, or they want to attack guys. They attack Michael Franchise. Now, he has stories, he does his own thing. I got stories, I tell my own thing. And some guys just don't have a fucking story. So their only theory is to attack somebody who has a following and see if they can get some play off of it. And I've noticed one guy had 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 views, and then he puts my name in and attacks me. Now he's got 15,000 views. So it's still not a lot, but he tripled or quadrupled what he was doing. So that's their fucking mentality. So now you're seeing the best of the Mafia when it comes to Michael Franchise or me. Even though he's a racketeer, I'm a gangster, they're different stories. But you're hearing legit stories. These people don't have a fucking story. So you're seeing the real scummy part of the Mafia. And they got together to be a team because they can't do anything else. So, and I'll get to all that shit down the road.
I think, you know, we don't like to say anything, you know, because we produce for you and remain as professional as possible and just stay positive. But it blows my mind that the same people that want to talk. I can't even watch it because it's so dizzying. Every other sentence is a contradiction in itself. None of it's true. And then we're still getting emails and messages from the same people begging to come to Arizona to meet you and interview you and sit down with you and can I talk to you and hey, I love you, and it blows my, they're worse than girls.
Yeah, well, look at the one video. A guy says, "I'm not going to let him use me to get hits.
Your coat.
I'm not going to be on. I'm not going to be on his coattails. He's got fucking 5,000 fucking subscribers. I got over 500,000 subscribers. I'm using him.
Yeah.
What
Delusional.
a fucking joke. But one thing I told this particular guy, so when you start your show, these people are smart. They know the truth. They know how to read people. They know when you're lying. The biggest thing is tell the truth. And he went like, whatever I told him, he went completely in a different direction. But we'll get to all of that.
Tony Kraus back in the super chat with a very generous envelope. Holy scratchola. Thank you so much, Tony.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Yeah, I love these Motivation Mondays, as we call them, Sammy, because I love how you stay above the fray. You keep it classy. And I know we'll get to it, like you said, but you don't call these people out. You don't embarrass
No.
them. You don't. You tried to help them as much as you could, and out
Yeah.
of the goodness of your heart.
And I don't want to get back and forth. I don't want to go on somebody's level. And I think my followers will understand that when somebody's bad-mouthing you, not me, forget about me for a minute, you or what you do in life, these people are the low of the low. Usually it's they're the low. Somebody who's successful, you very rarely ever hear them knocking you or trying to take you down. It's always the low of the low, who the scum of the earth wants to, put somebody down, jealous, envious people. That's who does it. So I don't want to mix in with that. I don't even want to answer. I don't want to do none of that bullshit.
Laura84 in the super chat. Why do these low lifes attack you? They should be grateful. You started this whole thing, and they're biting the hand that feeds them.
Laura, you're talking with through an intelligent brain, and you're asking a question that I asked too. I mean, why would you? Laura, if you opened up a YouTube, you wanted to sell women's products, and you're a good talker, and you have a product, and you texted me, and I said, yeah, sure, I'll talk about it, send me the product. I may use it, I may feel like, oh, this is great, and I will talk about it. So now once I talk about it, I try to help you. Why would you attack me? There's no answer other than this is low life. I'm not supposed to use the R word, retarded motherfuckers. And jealous, envious people of you, they can't stomach when you come out and try to do something and you're a little successful. That's all they know is to be jealous and envious of it. Oh, if he could do it, then I could do it, or you want to attack me for it. If you put out a YouTube channel and you were advertising something, I would say, great. Here's a woman, maybe she's married, she's got kids, she's trying to make an extra buck. I love people like you and people who would want to do that. I would never knock you. Anybody who wants to go out and break their ass and try, I'm more power to you. I do that every day of my life. Not only with this channel or my YouTube, I try to do movies. I did a thing, the Salvatore. I was acting. I'm not a fucking actor. I know I'm not, good at it, but I tried. So you can laugh at me, you can put me down for it, whatever you want. But I'm trying. I'm trying to do whatever I could do in Hollywood. That's the field I picked out. Social media, Hollywood is my target, and I try to do anything I could do to be successful. It's not just about money. It's being successful in what you're doing. Maybe I'll be able to leave my kids something. Maybe OurThing.tv someday, my kids or grandchildren or somebody could take it over, and I could do some good with it at the same time. It's not that I don't want to make money, I do. And one guy was criticizing me about, the first thing he talked about it, he wanted to talk to this company that I'm dealing with. He wasn't happy with his end. Bro, that's business. Anybody offers me something, I'm not going to just do it. I'm going to talk business with you. What's in it for me? Whatever. Now, if there's nothing in it for me, then be honest, there's nothing in it for me. It's just a good deed. Maybe I'll feel like doing a good deed if you're a good person. But if it's not, some guy wants me to move his product, push his product. Yeah. My first question, is it good? There's a lot of companies with food. First thing I tell them is send me some food. Not that I'm getting it for free. I don't give a fuck about the food for free. I want to taste it. I want to like it. If I don't like it, I'm not going to push it. You can't even pay me to push it. So, but that's business. That's what everybody does in business. You can't say, well, he's greedy because he wanted to know what's in it for him or what's going on. Of course I'm going to want to know what's in it for me. That's business. You're so fucking retarded, you don't even understand what business is. Business is a negotiation. I know what you want. I know what I want. You now know what I want. And we negotiate to see how we can do it. That's not being greedy. That's called business. So some of these morons who are just knocking that, they don't even know what business is. That's why you guys will never exceed in success, have success, because you're greedy. You want to be selfish, you want it all, you don't want to negotiate, you want it all your way. Life and business doesn't go that way. One of my girls wants a raise. I don't think she deserves as much as she wants. But I'm willing to sit down with her and talk about it. Now, I hear, well, she's having a tough time. She has a couple of kids. She don't have enough. She's fucking around driving Uber at night. That excels me that I want to help her. Even if I don't think she's worth that extra raise. For what she's doing, I'll help her. But I'm first going to know what's going on with her or him or whoever it may be. So that's me, and that's life, that's business, that's what I've been taught, that's what I did all my life. I don't think that's being selfish.
Not at all. Not at all. And I agree with you, Sammy, because just seeing stuff behind the scenes with you, people expect you to jump in and fight their fights, and it's extremely litigious at high levels in these litigations, and it's to have you jump on seems selfish to me. You don't have the information, you don't know what's going on, but they just want to use your name, your notoriety, your everything to punch for them when they could be guilty.
I can't get tied up in those things. I don't nothing. I don't know what I'm talking about and who I'm fighting and why I'm fighting. I don't do those things either. I got to know. When I want to fight, I'm going to talk about a fight that I want to talk about that I'm not going to make a dime. But I'm going to try and put some impact into it. I'll talk about that after when I get to it. It's this thing in Hawaii. Remind me, I want to get back to that story. But I'll explain that whole thing.
Awesome. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to switch gears a little bit, Sammy, before we... Okay. Tim Walrand in the Super Chat. Hey, Sammy, what's your thoughts about the UK families like the Krays?
Well, obviously, I didn't know them. They were a tough family. One of the brothers, I think, was a little crazy altogether. They put him, even when he got convicted, they put him in a mental hospital. I saw the movie, part of the movie I think I saw. Didn't know them, but they were a tough group, tough family.
Thank you, Sammy. Larry Fishkind back in the chat. Hey, Larry. Thank you for the signed picture. I was a Scarpacci Staten Island funeral home last week. You guys made my week. Much love to Sammy and the team.
Thank you so much.
All right. We're getting a lot of shine box comments. Go get your fucking shine box. Here we go, Larry. It's business, not personal. In my opinion, Sammy, same thing. Sammy's a heavyweight. You guys are great. Sammy's viewers are just amazing. The loyalty, Sammy, they love you. They know the truth.
And I love them. That's why I keep going. I'm motivated by them. I'm motivated by positive people. There's another woman who calls me and she drives school bus. She drives Uber and she's not well. She's sick. And, I actually try to send her a few bucks. when she was telling me the story. And she said, no, Sammy, it ain't about that. I'm choking up just thinking about her. What good fucking people, good people I got following me. And you know who you are. I'm not going to say your name, but I got you. And if you ever got your back to the wall, she just won't ask for money. She won't ask for nothing. So she's a beautiful person.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us, Sammy. Van Lee asked, what was Paul Castellano like on a personal level?
You know, I'm going to say the truth. When I first met Paul Castellano, I liked him. I thought he was the best thing since sliced bread. He was very, very smart, more of a racketeer than a gangster. That part of that was part of his downfall, part of it, not all of it. But he was pretty fair with a lot of different things. But the deeper we got into it, the more things that happened wasn't right. There was a lot, you know, I used to take my son Gerard, who's sitting here, so I'm going to say it. I used to take him, he was just a little guy, a kid. And I would go over there with him sometimes on a Saturday or a Sunday. And his wife would say, come on, Gerard. She'd pick him up, put him on a stool near the counter, make him, you know, glass of milk and cookies. Right, Gerard? Yeah, I mean, so I really liked her. She was an old woman. She reminded me of my mother or grandmother or something. I liked her a lot. One of the things that he did, he was banging his maid in the house, and I fucking hated that. I hated that. I hated that. Not that guys can't go around, fucked around. They could do that. I did that myself. But no, I mean, he fell in love with her. Like at one point, she was telling the wife what to do. You know, the wife would tell her, make coffee and this, don't make it yourself. Fuck out of here, make it yourself. You're a maid, make the coffee. And then one day I was there with Frankie the Chico. I told the story a couple times. And I went there, Frankie the Chico was on one side of the table, I was on the other side, and Paul was at the top where he always sat. And he started talking about his maid, Gloria. And I think she was 2 feet tall, and 300 pounds, and she was Colombian, and ugly as shit. And so he said that, you know, Gloria told him that the agents questioned her when she went to a store. And when she didn't say anything, but she says, oh, these agents, he was so good looking. So I thought he was worried about her cooperating or something, the way he sounded. And I said, Paul, if you got a problem, you think something's bad, I went like this. You want me to take care of this? And his fucking veins in his neck were sticking out. What the fuck did you just say? I knew I said something wrong. And Frankie gave me a kick under the table. I'll never forget. I think I still have a lump from that kick. And I knew I fucked up or said something crazy. So I said, Paul, I think I just lost my mind. But all I said was, if you think you have a problem, if you need my help. And I shouldn't even talk, Paul, because sometimes I'm fucking retarded. I don't know what to say. So we went on a little bit longer, and Frankie gave me another kick. I don't know if it was, that's it, back the fuck up. And I did back up. When we went out, Frankie grabbed me. We knew where the cameras were, what they saw. So the spot where he couldn't see us, Frankie grabbed me on his knees, because he was much taller than me, and hugged me. He says, you crazy fuck. I said, what's the matter? He says, he loves this fucking stupid broad. He'll kill the two of us for her. And you tell him that you're willing to kill her? I didn't know that. He was fucking around with her. That's the first time I found out. He says, yeah. He said he had this big garage on the side of the house, a 6-car garage. He said, you see the last car on the end, the Cadillac? That's hers. He bought that for her. Really. And I thought it was weird, but I thought it was really disgusting to do that. If you have a girlfriend, go somewhere else with her. If you want to drink in a bar and get laid, that's one thing. I'm even against gumadas. Guys have like a girl and then another girl, and they're like married to both of them. I don't buy that either. I never did that. I did cheat. I'm not going to be a fake, but never had a gumada. My wife told me once, Sammy, she grew up with all the guys. She said, I know how you guys are. You go out, you drink. I know how what you do. I don't care about that. But if you ever have a gumana, I'll fucking leave you. And, you know, not that I was afraid of her, a little afraid of her, I think. I didn't want her to leave me, so I never had a gumana. So,
Nice. Gerard, any commentary?
No.
No comment. Do you remember Paul Castellano's house?
No, I was pretty young back then.
Do you remember?
Going there, I don't remember ever being in there talking to his wife. I was young. I had to be, what, 4 or 5?
Do you remember the Goblin
speak
Gloria?
up, speak up.
No, I don't. I really don't.
The agents, Sammy talks about the agents getting them on tape having sex in the kitchen.
Oh, my God. I mean, you know, that goes to another story about Paul Castellano had, what do you call that, ED?
Penis pump.
Erectile dysfunction. And I didn't know that either. So one time when he was on the lam, he asked me to come there. Tommy Bellotti would pick me up. I went there, and I went to a room on about the 14th floor, something like that, in this exclusive place. And me and Tommy were in one room. Paul was going to be in the other room. The door opened up right from one room to the other. And I got some hookers to come up with me, for me and Tommy Bellotti. And when the girl got done with me, I, fucking retard, thinks of, I'm going to take care of the boss. So I told her, knock on the door. There's an old guy in there, and take care of him. And do the same thing you did with me, and so on and so forth. And he said, you know, she said, okay. So she knocks on the door. He comes out, he touches her arm, brings her in, and they're together. About 20 minutes. And I'm starting to sweat because Tommy Bellotti keeps saying to me, you're fucking crazy. You're crazy. What the fuck am I crazy about? What's wrong, bro? Well, anyway, she came back out and she wasn't too happy. And I said, what happened? I said, you didn't ask him for money or do anything like that, did you? No, Sammy, I swear. She says, I did. I gave him a blowjob and he didn't like it. Oh my God. What do you mean he didn't like it? What makes you know he didn't like it? Well, he didn't get a hard on. And you did the same thing you did to me. Yeah. And he didn't like it? No. I thought that was weird. I let her go. And Tommy Bellotti tells me, Sammy, that's why I kept saying you're crazy. He has erectile dysfunction. He's diabetic. He can't get it up. And I don't know what you did. I thought, I says, I'm going to be the first guy in the Mafia who got a boss a blowjob from somebody and is going to die over this fucking thing. I was petrified. The next day I talked with him and never said a word about it. And I thought that was kind of weird. Later on, he got an implant. I don't want to get into that because that leads me into another story, so I'll leave that alone.
I love it. I love it. Okay, Jay Marie, back in the super chat. Boss, we can see that he has nothing to say, empty words with no direction. You are the real deal, Sammy, and keep up the good work. I'm preparing a nice envelope for you so we can have a sit down very soon.
Thank you.
Jay Marie has his own YouTube channel too where he covers Mafia history and all kinds of cool shit.
This is Jay Marie. This is a guy.
Uh-huh.
You know that name, James Marie. Bro, you got to use Marie at the end of it. Every time I hear James Marie, I'm getting hard on. I think it's a woman like flirting with me. All right.
Like, I love
but
you.
It's not.
So we just had a special guest enter the building. You're one of your favorite directors and DPs, iRock from Arizona, Erwin Daniels. He's actually working on the Anthony Reggiano Jr. It's fire.
It is fire. Listen, I worked with iRock. He's out here, and he's great. He did the Anthony Reggiano video. He's editing it. He's doing the whole thing, and you're going to see it soon. And he's working with me, and if you ever need him, you're out here and you want something, he's a good friend of mine, I can get in touch with him tomorrow. He came down with 4 or 5 cameras, a whole crew. I mean, high-end cameras, Really, really a good guy and great work. So IROC, keep that name in mind. And if you forget the name or you want the address of him or phone number, just give me a holler. And but make sure you pay him when you work. I don't want to send no stiffs to him.
Yeah, he's got that creative eye. You don't even have to tell him.
No, he's good.
Oh,
He's
man.
great. He is good.
That's awesome. Just want to let you know, Sammy, you're getting a lot of love in the chat, a lot of support, a lot of hell yeah gangsta.
Yeah, well, I love you guys with all my heart and soul.
You also have an exclusive interview dropping in September, Sammy, with the one and only Alex Jones and Jay Dyer.
This is an interview, another interview I did. I never knew this Alex Jones. I mean, you know, he's got a very rough voice. He's rough in his vocabulary, everything. Like, so I wasn't sure how we were gonna, but we meshed perfectly, right?
Oh, yeah.
We had a great conversation about things. We're a little bit on the same track with everything, but it was a great. I enjoyed it. You guys, I think, are gonna love it. I mean, a real good guy, this guy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, some of the stuff he was saying, he's like, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but
Yeah.
Roger Stone told me this. You
But
want
he
to talk
says
to
it.
Roger?
Yeah.
Oh, he says it, right? Yeah. Bill Curtis in the super chat. Hi, Sammy. Why do you let those guys get to you? You gotta let it go. I get like that too. I admit it. Any tips actually for myself? Billy from Beantown.
Listen, Billy, if they don't get to me, you know what gets to me is that, like, me and Michael Franchise think totally different. He's a racketeer, I'm a gangster. But I respect him because he talks like a man, acts like a fucking man. Me and him don't agree on a lot of different things because he's a racketeer and I'm a gangster. So we look at things differently. But I respect him and his opinions and everything like that. And I say it, you know, he's a good reflection of the Mafia. I think I am in my, you know, what I talk about, and he is the way he talks about, and many others, not to go into all the names. Jimmy Calandria, there's a lot of guys. A-Light and me don't get along that great. I have a little respect for him. It's people like this who I'm talking about, and you know who I'm talking about, are the bottom of the fucking barrel. And they're talking about people like Michael, me, other people, and they're so low. It's disturbing because when you look at us reformed gangsters and we talk, we're honest, we're sincere, we don't try to pump ourselves up. We tell the truth. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, go to another channel, do whatever you want. When you see people like this, it thinks like not all of the Mafia was like this. That's what bothers me. Not so much that they're attacking me. They could. You know, they're not a pimple on my ass. I can give a fuck less about them. I don't answer normally. I don't say the names. I could say their names, but I don't. Because I don't want to get back into that, on their level of scum, laying in there. So I talk with Michael. I'll argue with him. He'll argue with me sometimes. But we're not on that low level stuff where we may argue about different opinions. 10 minutes after the argument, we're cool. I know his wife. I've met his wife a couple times, his kids. He's a great father. He's a great husband. I respect all those things. He gets along great. He loves my son. My son loves him. I was even joking when I said, Michael, I think my son loves you more than he loves me, so I'm going to give him a release and I'll put him under you. He said, I'll take him tomorrow. So that was after an argument. So, I mean, those things, I don't mind that.
He makes good pizza.
And my son is pushing him now.
makes
He
good
makes
pizza.
good pizza.
What's the name of his place in Newport?
Slices.
Slices,
Yes.
Michael Francis.
Michael Franchise was Slices.
So Bill Curtis, just that last part, you know, any tips? He's asking for advice on how to handle jealousy and haters and...
You know, you can't make friends with fake people. Don't even, once you see that, the jealousy, the envy, they're fake, the best thing you could do in life is get away from them. Don't bother them. There's millions and billions of people out there. You're not going to be friends with everybody. Make sure he's not one of them. Because he's always going to turn on you. He's always going to be jealous of you, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how good you are to them. It's in them. They're dirt. And when you get dirt, you know, you wash your shoe. when you get dirt. So next time when you're walking, you don't want to step in the same puddles and get dirt on your shoe again. Just disregard that puddle, that dirt. Don't even bother with them.
The puddle dries up eventually.
Yeah, yeah.
That was awesome, Sammy. Jesse Robles Jr. Sammy, did you watch the documentary about the Mob McDonald's Monopoly scandal? What did you think about it? Did you know them? I know they were younger.
Yeah, no, some of them were in my age bracket. It was the Columbos who did that. You know, some people was related to Joe Colombo. He was a cousin or a nephew or some fucking thing. You know, the funny thing is, that far back, I went to the premiere of that show. I was working with Mark Wahlberg and what the hell's his name now? Archie Gibbs, which is Mark's partner. They invited me to the preview. I went to the preview with them and a guy, Jeff White, who was around me. We went there. I enjoyed the show. We were in the theater. We saw the show. It was phenomenal. It was funny. It had different parts in it. I thought it was really well done. You know what I liked? I went there and we got there a little late. And then behind the rope, I was standing behind the rope, and Mark Wahlberg was on the stage, and he had cameras, everybody, microphones. He was giving interviews, and I'm with the fans and whoever behind the thing, and he pushes the camera guy away. He says, "Hey, Sammy, is that you?" So I waved. Now all the people around, they say, "Who the fuck's this guy?" He knows Mark Wahlberg. And he came out from under the rope, gave me a hug, and he says, "Where were you sitting?" And we talked a lot. Mark Wahlberg is a great guy. I met him the first time. I'm going to be honest. I'm not afraid of people, but I was nervous when I first met him. I mean, the guy's a heavyweight in Hollywood. I was just starting. This was a couple of years ago. And I was a little nervous. When I met with him, it was so comfortable. It was crazy. He had a T-shirt, a little medal hanging like I had, a pair of cut-off jeans, a pair of sneakers, and he was talking and bullshitting with me. It almost felt like in 2 minutes flat, like we knew each other for years. So I was real comfortable. I was nervous in the beginning, not scared, but nervous. And right after that, I got along really great with him. I had many, many meetings with him. You know, I told him once, I said, "Mark, I don't know how you did this." He says, "Why?" I show people our picture. We have pictures with me and him together. I go to nurses when I go to the doctor. I says, "It seems like every girl in the country wants to fuck you, and every guy in the country wants to be you. How the fuck do you get both sides to love you like that?" And he started laughing. He says, "You'll get the same thing, bro." He says, but he was a great guy. I enjoyed his company. I enjoyed his friendship. I was on my phone, him and especially Archie Gibbs. I was working more with Archie Gibbs, and we were doing some documentary work. And so they were a great team of guys, and I don't know what got me over there, but
Yeah, no, the advice given back to Bill Curtis, and it just goes to show that you let the success speak for you, your work, the quality of your work ethic, and the circles that you travel in, other people just can only dream about.
yeah. Well, you can't deal like, you could do a video. IROC, you're not going to get to people on that level, and they're on another level, and have a relationship because you have that nasty fucking scubby way. This guy will bother with you for 2-3 minutes and they'll look to get rid of you. He's not going to want to lower himself. He wants to stay on a level, and so that's what's important. You're going to get to people like that. You're going to be in Hollywood. You're going to meet some people, get lucky. Maybe you can meet Mark Wahlberg or Archie Gibbs and stuff like that. But you have to conduct yourself a certain way. I have a reputation in Hollywood. I give people my word. I live up to my word, which is important. A lot of things are contracts, but a lot of times I say I'm going to pay you, or I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. I make sure it's always done. So I negotiate a little bit, like that other guy said, "Why you negotiate?" I'm a negotiator. I'm a business guy. I'm always going to negotiate. That doesn't mean we're not going to be friends because we don't agree on something or a number or whatever. So,
Thank you so much, Sammy. We are at 2:01 1 minute over our 2 o'clock time. I'm going to hit one more of these super chats from Benjamin Linus. Very generous envelope. When you look back on John Gotti, what's the first thing that you think or feel?
You know, I loved the guy at one time, and I feel so hurt that we wound up like we wound up. I mean, he fell in love with himself. He was a narcissist, and nothing else mattered to him. The public, how he dressed, how he was perceived. That's not gangster. And it fucked us up. I'm sick about how he died in prison of cancer, like a dog. I would feel bad for anybody. I did 22 years in prisons. I feel bad for people in prison who are alive, dead, black, white, Hispanic. I don't give a fuck what they are. Prison's a tough place to be sick. So, you know, but by the same token, the things he did, if you betray me, I could become a betrayer. Real easy. I take it as a chess game. You want to play chess with me? I'm ready to go. You want to fight with me? I'm ready to go. You want to shoot with me? I'm ready to go. You want to be loyal? I'm there. I'm ready to go. So there's a lot of emotions and a lot of different feelings because I did feel for him a lot. He was good in a lot of ways, but it didn't work out at the end. It's like a divorce with a marriage. Sometimes marriages work, sometimes they don't. My marriage, I got a divorce. My wife and me are like this. She's sick, she's got COPD, and I'm there for her all the time, even though we're divorced. If I went out with a girl, I would be very secretive. Not that I'm cheating, I'm divorced. I think it would hurt her. So I try to keep that life private. That's you, that's what kind of person you are. If you want to rub it in her face, you can do whatever you want. So I don't do that with people. I try not to, whether it works or it doesn't work. But if we're 201, before we as soon as we're done with this, I want to talk about Hawaii. Can we talk about it now?
Absolutely.
All right, I want to talk about Hawaii. I've gotten wrapped up in this thing with Hawaii. I have a friend of mine, Jim. I don't want to say his last name right now, but he's a big business guy, and he had a home there in Hawaii. Talk about it, and he was trying to hook me up with this company. What is it now? I think it was something now.
Okay. We can definitely post that, all the information.
We'll post it, but I wanted to be hooked up, and I was going to ask you guys and all my followers everywhere, if they want to make a donation, I don't want a penny of it. That donation would go from me to them or from directly to them, whatever it is. I don't want to have nothing to do with the money of it, but if we want to help these people lost every fucking thing. And the President of the United States goes there, talks about some bullshit fire he had in his kitchen that was ducked out in 20 minutes. It's a disgrace. These people lost everything, plus kids and people who died. And then he gives them $700 per family. That's a fucking disgrace. And we're sending billions of fucking dollars to Ukraine. And $700 a family. They're devastated like this in Hawaii. I have many, many, many black friends and Mexican friends who come out of fucking rough neighborhoods. We give them squat. We're giving $120 billion. There's homeless people all over the place in California, New York. You mean to say you can't figure out places here that you can help the country, help our people? Hawaii's part of us, in case this guy doesn't know, this feeble-minded fuck. Hawaii's part of us. They're our people. You give them $700 per family? What the fuck could you buy for $700? They lost their houses, their cars, their clothes, their medicine, everything. $700, it couldn't feed them for one fucking day. And you want to take credit like you did something? And then you'll send 2 days later millions or billions to Ukraine. Stop fighting in Ukraine. It has nothing to do with us.
I found
Take care of our fucking people. Yeah. So I'm trying to move on that. I'm not trying to take credit for nothing. I'm not going to take no money for that. I want to either start a fund or give it directly to them, whatever they want to do to help these people. And if not, forget money. Voice these things about them. Voice how we're embarrassed of what the fuck you're doing to our own people. And if they don't listen, vote them the fuck out. Get rid of them. People complaining in California. I know a lot of people in California now. It's a disgrace. There's homeless all over the place. I got family and friends in New York. My daughter says you can't even go on a train. I mean, it's got to the point where it's fucking ridiculous. There's homeless, there's guys walking around with cameras, there's homeless block after block after block. Half of riots going on. You worried about Ukraine?
Jim Tompkins in his text. So he's friends with the CEO of Maui Brewing Company, and he sent us a text from his friend, and he had told Jim, "Aloha, sorry for the delay in getting back to you. We are safe. The MBC Maui Brewing Company team has now fully been accounted for, and no teammates passed, but some did lose family members. 128 homes lost in our ohana so far. After tirelessly working to stabilize the community and take care of immediate food, water, shelter needs, we need to shift the focus to look at rebuilding. We're now starting to focus our teammates and fundraising via a 501c3 nonprofit. It's operated by Global Empowerment Mission, and to please spread the word."
And that's the guy, Jim. I didn't want to say his last name, but you don't mind. He said his name. Jim Tompkins. He's a very powerful business guy, wealthy guy, and he's been helping. I met with him. When he told me about that, I said, Jim, hook me up some way if I can help you to help these companies. So I know that the money is going to legit companies that are going to the people, not in somebody's fucking pocket. You know, because it's easy to say, send me money, and you send 10% to them. No, I don't want a dime of it. I want whatever we can raise and whatever we can do, Jim, I want you to control it. You tell me the best spots. And this guy's a very wealthy guy, so he ain't taking shit. And he's actually adding to it before I even started. So I may get back. I'm going to try to stay on this Maui thing, Hawaii thing, as long as I can stay on it. But I got to remember, I have a lot of black and Mexican people in this country who are fucking having a tough time of it. Now, they're not destitute. I'm not saying they're poor or whatever, but they're having a tough time. Stop with this fucking Ukraine thing. 120 billion and zero for all these other neighborhoods and all these other people. Some bullshit. I mean, I can't understand it. I really can't. And I'm trying to fight for it. And I want you people, all my followers and people, don't send me money for that, but fight for it. Open your mouth, talk. These are our people. They're good people. They lost every fucking thing. Just try to imagine what it is to wake up the next day, no cars, no clothes, no house, no food, no money, nothing. And there's all kinds of weird shit going on there. They won't come in with water. I don't know what's a conspiracy theory or what's not, but there's so many things I'm hearing that are just numbing. I mean, I don't get it.
There are reports that just came out that they found a boy hugging, I'm going to cry, hugging his dog in the ashes. He was his last moments where he just grabbed his dog and hugged on his dog. And that's how they found him.
Yeah, I'm hearing these stories by the draw. I'm hearing them over and over and over again. I didn't even know I had followers in Hawaii. I'm having personal messages sent to me from people in Hawaii. Sammy, thank you for saying something, doing something, or whatever. Listen, my hands are tied. There's so much I could do. I'm trying the best I can do. That's all I could say. And I know my followers are all good people. And we're not asking for big money or anything like that. I don't give a shit if it's $1, $5, $100, $1,000. I don't care what you do. And don't send it to me. Send it to, I'm going to make a route of where it's going so you could check on who's getting it, who's and getting it over there, who's being helped, and making sure, I'm going to make sure that not one fucking dime is robbed or taken out of where it's supposed to go, to people. I'll follow up on this. So any of that money goes anywhere, I'm going to be all over it with my friend Jim Tonkin and other people, and some FBI and people I know. I want that money traced, watched. None of it better disappear.
Sammy, all of your followers are saying, let's raise money for them. El Gato, Larry, everybody in here is saying, let's raise money for Hawaii.
As soon as I get the information, El Gato, I thank you so much. As soon as I get the information on what to do, I want to secure it. If I take it, I don't know how to get it to the right people there that's far away from me. So I just want to make sure that what we get goes to the right place. When I get that hooked up and I know for sure, and my friend Jim Tonkin is going to be on my back with this, I'm asking him to be on my back to do it, help me with it. And once I know that for sure, then yes, I'm going to make the donations myself. But I want to make sure that people get it. Like I said, I had heard Hillary Clinton had a fucking thing. You send her money, she helps charities. Yeah, 90% she kept for her and her families and salaries. 10% went to go help people. No, bullshit. These people are not going to invest their money, hard-earned money, in good faith, and only 10% reach them. I'm not going to accept that. I'm going to be on that like stink on shit. So, and Gato and all you guys out there, but let me set it up as best as I can, where we know it's secured, and I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one to invest. I don't have that much money, but I'll make an investment, and I'm not going to invest $100 or $50. I heard some of my people invested $3 for the kids. I mean, I'll invest a couple thousand of my own money, and that's how I'll start it. You follow me. If I'm invested a couple thousand of my money, I'm going to make sure that that's going to the right place. Then you could follow me, because they really do need help. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful state in our country with good, hard-working people. It's weird that the elites didn't get hit, but with this thing. But that's other conspiracy things. I don't know why, but
The Bullpen. We've been talking about that. We're going to start up again this week and do
I know.
more.
Well, what's his name? Jay Dyer is investigating it. I have Michael Vecchione, ex-prosecutor. I got him investigating. So I'm going to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. I don't want to ask you guys to invest, and then we find out later on, and it's not going to be me. We find out somebody else took half of it, or only 10% of it went there. That ain't going to happen. And it's not going to, I'm going to put agents, ex-prosecutors, friends of mine on this thing. When I make my investment and I ask my people to help, you can bank on that money where it's going.
Amen.
So,
Great live today, Sammy.
yeah, it was a good live. I appreciate all the envelopes, the people who sent messages and stuff. What, Mina?
We wanted to lighten it up.
What?
Lighten it up, end it on a light note.
Tell him. What story? Tell him. The one at the hotel. The guy that pulled up.
Oh, Sammy, when we were in LA this weekend taking some meetings for you, we were having a cocktail, listening to the piano. Nice hotel, and this guy walks up, big burly, white guy with a Phoenix Open hat on, and Scottsdale. Oh yeah. Where you guys from? We're from Phoenix, Scottsdale. He pulls up a chair like across a ways to put it right up to our table. It's just me and her, right up to the table. He goes, "What do you guys do?" I'm like, "What do you do?" And he's like, "I have a car dealership in Arizona, in Phoenix." Oh, okay, cool. What do you guys do? We're producers for Sammy Gravano. And he's like, "Sammy the Bull Gravano?" And I go, "Yeah." He hired
And then he looked at me, and then he goes, "You too?"
And I just smiled and raised my eyebrows. I was like, yep. And then he got up and he said, "I'll be back." And he booked it. He ran. We thought he went through the kitchen because we don't know where the hell he left.
He left behind the piano through the kitchen exit.
Yeah.
Oh, we were laughing so hard.
Talking about that, they were in California. I sent them. what they were doing, first of all, they did such great work. I told them they could have off Friday, Saturday, and go to LA. And that networking. Networking means people of different levels who are in show business, bunking into one another, trading stories and cards and whatever. But they went out, they had a great time, limos picking them up, taking them to beautiful restaurants. There was a cocktail bar where the guy is playing the piano. I saw the videos. We're going to show some of these videos. So that's what I wanted my team to get away. So Anna and Amina went. First thing I asked them, did you score? Is anything going on here? No, nothing happened there like that. So anyway, I love breaking chops. But they had a great time. They came back refreshed. They flew back on Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. And here it is Monday. They're nice and refreshed. And I got to do that one day too.
Yes. Yeah,
Well, we
those
did that
FaceTimes
one day.
were-
I went to, what's his name, Rob's
Oh
house.
yeah, Rob's
And
house.
went to a pool party and was attacked by a couple women. So that was a very relaxing day. That was
and a
nice.
Galapagos tortoise.
So that was good.
Yeah, everybody's excited to start the projects. Everybody was talking about the strategies with the Writers Guild and the SAG and everything that's going on right now. But I think you got a couple FaceTimes with some A-listers trying to get on your show and do your movie.
Yeah. Listen. I mean, I can't wait for this strike to be over. They're talking pretty serious now, from what I understand. And I have a couple of contracts. One, my scripted story with some heavies, and one is the Johnny Keys movie with some heavies. Soon as the strike is over, we're going to be starting in those two areas. We were talking about it this morning. I said, I'm going to be pulled all over the place because they're two different companies doing two different things. Plus, I got to do all this stuff and the YouTube stuff and all that stuff. And I got a call from James Carroll, who we're still great friends, and we did the podcast, our thing. And now we're going to do, I think I said this in the beginning, a retake of Brand New with more content, different content, old content mixed together. So I think I'm going to be pretty busy.
I think so too.
I better be able to live to 100.
Amen. Amen.
I don't know if I can get all this done. But,
We have Betty Antivano in the chat.
It's my go.
Hey girl, what's going on, Betty? Wait, a lot of good things to come, Sammy. A lot of good things are happening.
Listen, I just had a conversation with her, just recently. Great conversation. Elgato. She's a good friend of mine. She's a great person. Be nice.
What's good, Agato? What's good?
So, yeah. So, all right, guys. My tech guy, I think, fell asleep. Did he fall asleep?
Ricardo. You go party last night?
Last night, that's okay. All right, guys, I'm going to have to wrap it up. So, my usual, adios, motherfuckers.